Hi, I'm Rachel Ventura, and I'm running for state senate in the 43rd District. I was born and raised in Joliet by two union parents. My mom was a retired teacher, and my dad is a retired bridge tender. I attended public schools and eventually got my math degree from Benedictine University. I then worked as an actuary for insurance companies for a number of years, but realized that the exploitation to the working class families for health care and life insurance was not something I wanted to be a part of anymore. I then went back to school and earned my biology degree. I worked as a naturalist for the longleaf pine forest in Georgia, restoring it and trying to save our endangered gopher tortoise. It was during that time that I married my husband, and we moved to Washington. He was in the Navy. We took a number of different orders, but it was there that I had my first look at politics and lobbyists. I was fighting the Bt toxins that Monsanto was putting out in our food and trying to get a law passed in Washington that would prevent these toxins from being in our food supply. Lobbyists and other political entities fought against that bill, putting a lot of money in it, and it did not pass. But the upside of that was a growing movement of people who vote with their dollar, and they created the non-GMO labeling, and it was the first time that I saw people kind of come together and fight the system, and I learned a lot during that time. In 2016, I moved back here to Illinois with my twin girls after my divorce, and my dad encouraged me to run for office. I was upset about some of the litter and trash, even on our trees, and he said, "What are you going to do about it?" And I said, "I don't know, do a cleanup?" And he said, "No, go run for office." And so that was my first shot at running. I now serve on the county board. In 2018, I was elected there. I'm also the vice president of the Forest Preserve, where we were able to successfully ban Bt toxins here locally for Will County's Forest Preserve properties. I've continued to be involved in my community, both from an activist standpoint, as a public servant, and as a mother. So what I've seen at the local level and at every level of government above is that our government systems are not always working for the working class and the working poor. Many of it cowtails to the politically connected and the uber rich, and I'd like to change that. I also want to make sure that we have trust and faith in our government, and that starts with electing honest and ethical people who are going to keep hardworking Americans in mind when they set policy that impact them. When I get down to Springfield, I'm going to be focusing on the climate crisis and addressing that, but also through growing our economy with green jobs, with better paying wages, and making sure that every family has a quality of life that is best suited towards them. Some of that includes lowering our property taxes by having education funding reform, bringing in more dollars from a LaSalle Street tax, which is a fee on our commerce exchange, the stock market and options board here in Illinois, also through a progressive tax. It's time the rich pay their fair share so that we can have education for our future children and current children, and make sure that we are expanding those education options into college. We want to make sure that we have great training programs so we can grow jobs, especially jobs in the green sector, like we have with Lion Electric and their electric buses and electric trucks, moving into that industry, but also water concerns, making sure that we have clean soil, local food economy, clean water for everyone. These are some things that each and every one of us are going to need, and we want to make sure our tax dollars are serving all of us. The last thing I'll touch on is I am a pro-choice candidate. I am also endorsed by the Gun Violence Prevention PAC because I believe that we need to license our guns and have responsible gun ownership. It's time to put lives first and make sure that our government isn't overstepping in the case of a woman's right to choose. We have our own autonomy, and we need to make sure that our government safeguards that. Healthcare is a human right, and it is the job of our government to make sure that we're protecting all human rights. So with that, I will ask for your vote on November 8th. I'm Rachel Ventura, and I'm running for the 43rd District, and your vote means the world to me. Thank you.